my neighbours, good citizens all, I thank you for coming and heeding the call. Let's rally the people and bring them all near. Sing out our songs for the whole world to hear. This is the cradle of all that we are. This is the heart of the storm. This is the ground where the future was born. This here is Anvil and this is our home. Each song that we sing and each story we tell, each hero we name and each life that we sell, each breath and each beat of your heart is a beat of the drum. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Before 10 in the morning, we're barely alive. We're like ghosts, we're like spirits, and then coffee arrives. Then heroes awaken and stand by your side. Now gather your courage and sing out your pride. For the storm will not break us, although it may try. The sun may beat down and may bake the world dry, but we stand by our neighbours and raise them up tall. Gather your voices and scream out the call. For you are my empire and you are my hall. For you I would fight and for you I would fall. For you are the beat of my heart and the heart of my song. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. So fill up your tankards and fill up your lungs. Leave no words unspoken and no song unsung. Make noise for your heroes, your kith and your kin. Sing out their names and the pride that they bring. Together we stand and divided we fall, and the future we write will be shaped by us all. For we are the singers and we are the song of a story that's greater than more. Sing along. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere, I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere, I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. There's nowhere that I'd rather be.
Hello everyone, welcome to another stream. This one's going to be a bit more subdued because I is knackered. So I guess, I didn't mention, I've got a broken toe as well. I don't know how I did it. We were camping. It would be a drunken thing, I guess. So, hi everybody, thanks for coming along. We have the wonderful Ginnie with us today. We're going to talk incredibly random stuff. We're just going to pick anything and we're going to go through. So Ginny will just have to be allowed to talk. I'm getting better at being quiet. I am. I'm really not. I'm really not. Um, so we'll do
I,
that.
it's
Sorry, I
okay.
thought you.
I'm good with things.
I failed already. Um, so yeah, so we'll do this, and then get any questions or anything like that, and things and stuff. So, uh, am I still doing the giveaway? Yes, the giveaway is a thing, but because I was away camping, I've put it off um,
I've
until
just been asked to actually talk, so I'm going to interrupt you arbitrarily just so people can find out whether or not the sound settings, and then you can tell people about the giveaway. How's that?
I've turned you up a little bit,
Ooh. Is that
just in
better for
case.
everyone? Apparently, I need to be a little bit louder. Let me try that one. Any better?
10% too quiet. Oh, really? I've turned you up a bit more. That's better. There we go.
Are we
Better.
good? Okay, cool.
Excellent. Wonderful stuff.
Thank you very much for your
Mm.
care and attention.
We're doing well. We're doing
I
well.
finally
So
can listen to Steve.
the giveaway is it's a sword, two axes, and a leather accessories stuff from Darkblade. So we've got a lot of stuff to give away. Not too sure how I'm going to do it yet. We'll come up with something, and it'll be a laugh. Uh, I feel like Ginny was ready to tell us where the emergency exits were. So, how do you enter?
Right.
I have no idea at the moment, to be honest. We will come up with something, and we'll put it out there, and we'll get people involved. One of these weapons cost 100 quid. I will say that. So, we may come up with a way of putting something back in, just to do that, I guess. But don't know. Don't know. If you're in the community on Discord, we'll put something in there, and we'll have a look at it and have a chat about it all. So, but yeah. So, but it's a beautiful axe though. It's Andy Rimmer made this axe, so it's all carved and it's got little things in it. It's stunning, absolutely stunning, and I want it myself. That's the problem. So, but
So,
yeah.
how about doing a quiz or something like that, and see how it goes? And then, I
Yeah.
mean, you can always sit there and be like, "This question is, what was Mac's childhood home?"
Oh, this is true. Yeah. Got some really difficult questions. How many toes does Mac have?
Fewer than you would expect.
That's actually 27. It's impressive. Really big feet. So, but yeah, the one of the axes and the pack are just will be a definite. You can only win these if you have never been to an event. So that's going to be a very specific thing. But the other
That's
two,
sweet.
so it's a nice sword and the really really nice axe. It will be something else. So it might be a subscriber only for the sword, or and then if you've donated on the night or something, then that's you entering in to win the axe maybe. That's actually a pretty good idea. I like that. We'll probably go with that. So, but I'm going to do a big thing uh, anyway to give everyone involved. So, but still, this should have been E4 last weekend. We should all be sat at home
Yeah.
recovering at the moment. What were you up to this weekend then, Ginny?
Oh, so one of the things I was doing was poking around ideas for what like an icy introduction to the synod would look like. Because
Mm.
you've had like 3 or 4 different streams, and people seem to be like, we want to find out more about how this bit of the game works. So I was trying to work out like a short syllabus for how would we intro that on an icy level. What would you do? them, what would that look like as an event?
Okay.
So like, it's a seminary.
So
People,
so it's like a player event sort of thing.
yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah. So kicking around ideas to see if we could make that go, if there was, and what kind of things we'd want there. So like, it's basically like, here is a load of stuff you'd find on the wiki. Here is a load of stuff like we found out. Like, here is how you queue. Here is where you go. Here is
Yeah.
literal physical things, and pull out and don't touch on any of the big dramas, don't touch on any of the
Mm.
controversial topics, because what we want to be able to do is just sit here and say, like, we're trying to be as unbiased as you can be. Is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That sounds really cool. If I can help in any way, let me know. I'm more than happy to help out. Um,
what happens.
yeah. There's so controversial topics. You mean like horses, orcs, and high guard?
Oh, there are so many controversial topics to choose when it comes to Synod. It's just what we're here. But yeah, I mean, someone in chat is just asking if there were guidebooks and
Yeah.
things. And to be fair, there's actually quite a lot of bits and pieces. So all of the magic stuff,
Mm.
there's a publication wandering around called the Smug Little Basilisk. And if you ask, people will know what you mean by that. It's like a cheat sheet of how to sort your ritual numbers out,
Yeah.
uh, along with some broad information on that. Um, the Anvil Library has a load of publications on Eternals, on history, on this, that, and the other.
Mm.
So there are actually a ton of publications out there. The main thing is PD is very, very keen on keeping as much of that as possible in the field.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
they exist. They're
Yeah.
literal physical documents that you can go and look at. But it's a lot harder when you can't actually go and look.
Mm. So George, who's as a young lad who's joining Wintermark, he hasn't been into an event yet. Um, he's just said his character's backstory. I love hearing about backstories on this. I absolutely love it. Um, because I think everyone's backstory seems to have got better from the newer from people who haven't been to an events yet, because they seem to be changing every now and again to do bits. It's great. He said, "Could I still have Thane as an archetype, even though his backstory involves losing
Yeah,
a hall?" Like, yeah, definitely.
yeah,
I
absolutely. So all of the archetypes are just concepts. They don't hammer you into anything. They're not essential.
yeah.
They're a stab. So quite a lot of the time, um, PD will, here is some plot for League Bravos, for um, Daunish Troubadours, she says,
Yeah.
thinking of one of the few archetypes you can remember the names of.
Yeah.
And you'll get a little blurb in the Wind of Fortune saying, if your character is X, write
Mm.
us an email and we'll drop you a thing in your pack. So the archetype is a nice guide for you, a suggestion, but it's not defining
No.
what you are or aren't. You can be a troubadour who doesn't sing. You can be a thane without a hall.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
it's like an aspiration and a concept, that kind of thing.
Mm. Yeah. There's a few things in the field without a hall and stuff like that. So I can't remember what my archetype was. Yeah, Max Big sort of like become his own sort of the little thing anyway in the field. He just I don't think any of it matters around him anymore, so it's fine for me. But yeah, so I wouldn't worry about that. Got your backstory. Your parents are alive. That's fine. That's good too. There's no family sword. That's another good one. And yeah, so you just need to make a haul. But I know that you're looking at doing that in the field, so that's good. I was going to buy a ring and a necklace. Awesome. Um, Mac is an archetype now. Oh no, that's the last thing that anyone needs in that field. Uh, so so what is your routine for when you get into the field and you set up and all that? What's your routine for what you do?
So, what like I'm really lucky. My lift is super keen on driving there on Thursday. So
Mm,
we go down on a Thursday and set up, and that means we've got plenty of time on the Friday to wander around, look at the shops, get some breakfast, get some lunch, because chances are you're not getting dinner. um, yeah, yeah. Before I've got to the field, my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I spent. So I play Vivian de Coeur de Fer. I'm a priest of ambition. I'm
mm,
currently the cardinal. I've been the gatekeeper before. The elections are in spring, so all that can change at E2. But I've been playing for about 4 or 5 years now.
mm,
Um, and my main areas of interest are Synod, Military Council, and Senate.
yeah.
I'm super interested in uh, political moving and shaking because I think it's fascinating.
Mm,
I've got a big sideline in arguing over bullshit theology because it's amazing. Um, it's so much fun. I also have a huge amount of fun being able to talk to people about ambition.
mm,
A lot of the little stuff that I do is that the interpersonal stuff is most interesting for me. Is someone coming and saying, "What? What do I? There is something I want. How do you think we should go about it?"
mm,
And teasing out your ambition. What do you want out of this game, and how can we make that?
yeah.
Where can you go? So I do a lot of like, let's point people in a direction.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Emma Novi says that any member of the Ambition Assembly can stand for cardinal. They absolutely can, and they
Mm,
absolutely should think about this.
yeah. I like.
I I would love for people to stand for cardinal, stand for
Mm,
inquisitor, any of that.
yeah.
It's big and clever to want a position in order to achieve a thing.
Yeah.
So when I went to stand for cardinal, what I said was, I want to take over the world in the name of the empire, in the name of the way of virtue. And I will do this with the power of the cardinalship by doing this, 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 this. This
Yeah.
is the influence that being your cardinal will give me and the scope that I want to give you.
Mm,
Here's how I want to help you. Um, and that's the kind of thing I want to hear from anyone who wants to stand in ambition. What do you
yeah.
want? What do you
Oh,
want to do?
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
There's oh, my mouse is gone. Oh, there it is.
yeah.
I'm
Someone
playing.
else.
I've got a new wireless mouse, and I
Yeah,
forget that after a period of time, it just turns. It stops working. So I'm just there going, I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, I got to click, haven't I? Before that, there
yeah,
was a good question in chat. Alex asked.
yeah.
This will be of interest to you. Did you find it easy to get into the politics game at the start, and did it take you long?
So there's two different answers for that. One is I am super incredibly lucky.
Mm,
I I came into a pre-existing group, and they already had um, uh, they already had a senator in the group there who was super busy and involved, um, and a lot of other people that I know. One of them was a general already, um, and literally on my first event, someone turned around to me and said, "Oh, you're in the Ambition Assembly. That dude is the main candidate for cardinalship." So I literally followed him round my Friday night and was just like, "I'm gonna pay attention to what you're doing. I'm gonna see what I can help out with. I'm
yeah.
gonna listen to you and talk to you and find out where you're going." At the end of the night, he sat there and went, "So if you vote for me for cardinal, I'll make you gatekeeper." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds great." And then I went to sleep that night. And then I woke up the next morning and I checked my Wi-Fi, and I pulled up I pulled up the wiki, and then I went to find out what a gatekeeper was.
Mm,
I mean, on the bright side, it's something I love doing.
Yeah.
I've been role playing for like 20 years more, 20 years or more, and I cut my teeth at Vampire Larp. So an awful lot of what I'm used to is social interactions.
Mm.
So I'm going through a lot of that. So I've been incredibly lucky because I know some people out of character,
Yeah.
but character, getting involved in politics, the things that I have found most useful is having a specific goal that needs more than just me to be able to complete it. So I've got to go out and talk to other people, and for that goal to be useful to other people.
Yeah.
So when I say my in-character goal is to take over the world, I'm not kidding. I I want to I want to in character shape how the empire moves, make it bigger. It is massively important to me
Mm.
to be able
Yeah.
to to make that
Mm.
move, which gives me a huge incentive to go forth and say to someone who I don't know, "Hi, I hear that you are a senator. A wind of fortune said that you have the capacity to do this thing. I would be interested in hearing you to do that, in hearing what you want to do
Mm.
and why. Um, would you like to help? Would you like my help?" I love that so much. Turning around and saying,
Mm.
what do you want to do? Let me help you. A
Yeah.
number of a number of my best interactions, honestly, have been with people who are like, I want to do this, this, and this, and I'm like, I violently disagree with what you're going to do. Okay, here's ways that you can succeed,
Mm. Yeah.
because I can see that you doing something, even if it's something I disagree with,
Mm.
still gets shit moving in a direction,
Yeah.
and I love that.
I
It's
think
amazing.
that's the big point about being in any sort of position and having that ability to get that across. I am going to say to everybody, please don't mac it up tonight. I am knackered, and I would like it not to happen. So, yeah, it's that's my request from everyone. Okay, so
Yeah,
um, thank you. But yeah, Alex played a lot of vampire as well. So because that's been
yeah,
brought up in the Discord. So it seems the politics game was something that they are very very interested in doing as well. So
yeah.
it's
So like politics is a really broad church
mm,
when you come to Empire, because essentially the whole game is politics, because
politics. Yeah,
politics is about human interaction. It's about you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It's about competition over a limited resource, in a fashion that is intentionally, in Anvil at least, predominantly non-lethal.
yeah,
So sitting there and saying, okay, we're all in competition for this resource. How can we make the most of it? It's really interesting to me to
yeah,
sit there and say, I we both want this chippy. What's the outcome that we actually both want?
mm,
We don't necessarily need the chippy in order to get to
no,
the outcome.
no.
How can we do that? And that's politics.
There's a lot of stuff with the bourse as well that a lot of people do, where they form little groups, little syndicates together, and they buy a
Yeah,
bourse. They try to buy a bourse seat together, or you get
yeah,
the sugar daddy who's got like all the money to buy like five, and then you hope you become his friend, and then his or her friend, their friend, I should say, and then you get see if they can put you on a seat and stuff like that for a portion of what you get
mm.
from it. So there is all that sort of stuff, and I do like that.
Yeah. Bourse is an area I know next to nothing about, which is partly a deliberate lifestyle choice because there's only so much time I've
Oh yeah,
got,
yeah,
and partly because I'm playing a Dornish noble, and there is nothing more fun than sitting there in an Assembly of Nine meeting when someone brings up the Cinderpath Exchange, which is a which like last year it was a deeply controversial Highguard plot where they could build a thing that got you some more white granite in a specific fashion.
yeah,
At that time, there were 3 Dornish cardinals on the Assembly of Nine. And you sat there and someone came in and was like, I'm going to present this. Okay, you know what? I'm going to present this with jelly bean because you are clearly paying no attention to us talking about money, and us Dornish at the back were like, you're right. You should probably have brought a Yofolk if you wanted us to give a shit. But I'm sure it's great. And then, yes, having someone sit there and be like, okay, here are some jelly beans. If you pay attention, you can eat them afterwards. And we're like, well, we are Naga. Sure. It's great.
You had me at jelly beans, to be honest. I would have been right there going, oh, this is great. Oh, it's money. Oh, right, yeah, it really is money. And stuff. But, yeah, I've been to the Bourse 3 times.
Never been.
I don't want to go
And
back.
well, other people love it, and I'm
Yeah.
super like mad props to them for having that game. I know there's a lot of autumn magic going on, mages going on around there, and there's a load of
Yeah.
Cambion interest. There's a lot of splats that can really dig their
Oh, yeah.
teeth into that.
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
know who to point people towards if that's what they want to do, but that's about it.
That comment, silence you fools, and the jelly beans can be ours. Oh,
Yeah,
that's brilliant. I think the one
yeah,
thing I would say, if you go to Bourse, take a chair.
yeah. I mean, the
Definitely
same as
take a chair.
based anywhere.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, pretty
yeah,
much. There was another, because Ben asked,
yeah.
if you started a new character and wanted to do something other than politics, what would you do?
So I would do politics in a different arena because empire is politics. I have deliberately not touched conclave at all,
Mm,
and I've done my best to pay not much attention to that area and leave it
yeah.
be, because that is something I could really, really have fun with.
Mm,
So I've got a huge amount of time for all that I hear about realm magics, about dealing with Eternals, about the politics of different um, the use of different rituals, about how to get a coven or an area, and it'd be really cool. Um, so yeah, I want to go into conclave politics rather than synod politics. It's
okay.
going to be fun.
But yeah, a bit more, yeah, different, just a different area. Dan's said, I have a rather ambitious end goal for my character. Take back Dawnguard and kill as much of the Druge as possible. Am I being too ambitious for my first character?
No,
No.
not least because my first character's ambition is to take over the world. Okay, I'm literally not kidding. There is no situation where you can sit there and say, is this too much? Fundamentally, Empire is about trying to make giant sweeping changes if you want it to
Yes.
be. It's got the scope. I mean, to be fair, there's literally nothing wrong with coming to Anvil and deciding that what you want to do is have a beer with your mates. But
Mm.
in Empire, you're meant to be some of the people who are the top 1%. The 2,500 people in Anvil are literally there to change the world,
Yeah.
to reshape the empire, to make it bigger than it was before.
Yeah.
So sitting there and saying, my end goal is to take back Dawnguard and destroy the Druge, that's amazing. Okay, let's talk about how.
Mm.
What do you want to do? Do you want to rally people together and encourage a crusade? Which could be one way of doing it. Do you want to personally take charge of a specific army and take part in the actual military assault? Do
Yeah.
you want to find the currency and the coin to support the infrastructure that's going to be needed to do all of this? Do you want to find maniacal magics which allow you to cast lightning down upon the Druge and rain fire and terror onto them
Yeah.
with this? So here's your end goal. How are you going to get there? What kind of game do you think is cool?
Mm. That's that's
And
that's what it boils down to at the end of the day, isn't it? So, I
yeah,
think,
and who do you need to help? because
Mm.
you're going to have to find people to help you with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? There's no way to deal with Druge. Think about
Yeah.
it. You don't have to use a sword. You don't have to be the spearhead. You can be the momentum behind it. You can be the person who throws the pebble to start the avalanche. You
Mm.
can be a voice in a crowd. You can be a torch brand. Empire gives you so much scope for that, and it's one of the. I love my job so much because I'm a priest of ambition. I'm literally here to say, what do you want? Okay,
Yeah.
how are we going to make that happen?
Mm. Yeah. Definitely. There's other way of doing like the diplomacy in politics as well. I think because Brad says even the skirmish combat game is political. So
Yeah,
your nation needs people for a skirmish, but another nation has them. What do they want in return? And you have to go and do that sort of negotiating. There's also skirmishes as well where you turn up and that skirmish is a negotiation in the field as well.
yeah,
As
yeah.
I have said a few times now, I've talked about the sort of diplomacy sort of skirmishes that they have. There aren't a huge amount of them, but there are things that you can do in a skirmish that do affect things in the game. So, and
Massively.
I think it was Navarre against the Jotun in a skirmish, and we had Grim with us, and he's Wintermark, and of course there was a thing in place between the Jotun and Wintermark that they would not do these sorts of things against each other. And
Mhm.
Grim stood there going, I can't fight them. And then I think one of them came over and got a little bit too close and attacked me. So he killed him. And that was just sort of like, oh, that thing's up in the fucking air now, isn't it? So he then got massively involved. And we had diplomatic repercussions
Yeah,
come back to us in the field, which we completely ignored. And and we're just like, yeah, we don't care. We killed them. It's fine. Go away. But yeah, so you get those sorts of things as well, which is really, really
yeah.
good.
You're all part of a larger story, and that's amazing. So
So,
much to go.
with your character, then, what nation would you go to, or would you stay?
Well, for my next character,
Yeah,
no, I'll move out of Dawn for that. I don't know where to. Basically, I think a lot of it is going to depend, honestly, on who's around with a free character slot when I decide to retire. Um, because what I like most is being in a group with my mates and being able to hang out with them. So
yeah,
if there's a load of people I like who are in Urizen, go there, or in Navarre, or like literally everywhere. To be fair, I, no offense, probably wouldn't Imperial Orc because I'm not really big on the masks for a weekend. I super appreciate and think it's amazing for the people who do, but yeah.
I think they're
Um,
playing D&D tonight, so I don't think they're here. So,
they don't
oh
have
no, Smo's here. I've seen Smo. Sorry, Smo.
yeah. So, um, but yeah, it's not about nation for me. This is why my next concept is very vaguely like a magician, and I'm like leaving it at that.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah, because Smith is um, so Alex, who's my Thane in Hurstall, he wants to go. He's talked about going off to the league, and I don't. And Chris is talking about going off to the Brass Coast as their next characters, and I'm just like, I don't know what I want to do yet. I can't see past Mac right now, and it's really really difficult. So it's they've got people that they want to go off and do stuff with, and Alex is like he's got a great concept for the league, but it's like oh, I hate magic. I don't do magic in anything, and it's like oh, I suppose I should give Empire Magic a try and see what I can do and I might give that a go. But it's just like I think I quite enjoy playing like the bum, the lowest of the low, and then you look at League and it's like they don't really seem to have any.
Have you seen the Bravo archetype? I'm
I
literally
haven't,
just
to be honest.
the Bravo archetype is literally hi. I have got a knife and I am here for your money.
Ooh,
It's amazing. Yeah,
piqued
it's
my
great.
interest right there.
the league is fantastic. I love the league, and I would absolutely go there for another character. Yeah, Bravo's that they've literally got like a setup where they do bridge fighting. They've got a bridge where you fight on a bridge,
Oh,
and someone who gets dumped off is loses the fight. They've got so the Liga fighting force is awesome. They've also got mercenary companies who fight under mercenary banners
yeah,
who hire themselves out.
the sea wolves for one.
One example, there's
Mm.
a fair number of others, but sea wolves are really well known for good reasons. So they go off and
They're all right.
shut up. They're
They're
good.
eh,
There's no reason
Callie,
anyway.
Sam, no, they're all right. Their alcohol is subpar. Try the 2 feet cider. It's much better than their pond water that they sell in the sea wolves.
But they get hired out by other nations. That there was one season where so many league soldiers took mercenary banners to different nations that the league fighting force went from like whatever it was before, like 8 or 9 or something, down to 1. And
Wow.
that was basically the Barossas and the banner of the Crimson Fox and some mates. It was possibly the most valuable 1 point in the history of the Empire.
Excellent. So George has said, Steve, would you ever be interested in getting into the Eternal game and trying to become one? You can't become an Eternal, can you? You can become a Herald, I
You can.
thought.
There are rumors. There
Oh,
are
we'll leave
rumors.
that, because that's going to be a find out in play, that one. I feel.
Yes.
I can see you itching to talk about it as well.
Did I say a word? Let's
No,
move on.
I can see it on your face.
Look, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. We'll talk about something else.
Oh,
Give us some
God.
questions.
Yeah, the Eternal game would be could be quite fun because I'm bothering the Iron Duke at the moment. So,
It's super, it's super heretical to want to become a herald. Just saying.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
If anyone
yeah.
cares.
Who was
So
it? But didn't someone run off to become a herald though?
a number of people have run off to become heralds. It's not great juju, but still they have decided, and that's a
Hmm.
thing. And funny story, like the best trial story I have ever heard involved something like that, where someone was put on trial for attempted murder,
Yeah,
um, and the priest who did their clemency plea was the victim.
I heard about this. I think this was talked about on one of the streams. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is definitely Mac is already a heretic. Not a heretic at all. How? Oh, George, you get IC, mate. You're getting a kicking.
Yeah. Wanting to be it is heretical to try to become a herald or an eternal because it is considered to destroy to potentially destroy your immortal spirit
Yeah.
because you stop dying. You give yourself over to another force. You submit your soul exactly as Eva Shambles said to an inhuman being. You follow and worship that creature instead. You become
Yes.
a part of something that isn't a great cycle of reincarnation and the improvement of the
No.
human spirit.
A tool.
Yeah.
A definite tool. There's so
I
it's
thought,
fine for an orc.
you know, I don't know. Try it. Let's see what happens. I think the answer would be it's not fine because it prevents you leaping the abyss and ever becoming a virtuous ancestor.
Mm.
So I think on the whole, you're probably not going to get very far with that
No.
argument. It's
No.
a different argument.
Brad has said this message sponsored by the ghost of Kiat 2 feet. Yeah, yeah. Pond water, the seawolf stuff. Absolute pond water. But OC, it's really nice. I do like it a lot.
It's a hard life.
It's hard. Oh, dude. Oh, God, dear. So, yeah, I do like that idea. I mean, I probably would like to try magic at some point. I don't know if it'll be like going for like a battle mage sort of role, or maybe a see, but I can't get my head around the ritualist stuff. That's the thing for me there. So it probably would just be a battle mage sort of role or something like that. But nation wise, don't know. Definitely not high guard. They're just that's the brief that I just like. I've no interest in this, and I couldn't be one of the shattered towers. No flunkies, so throw a tabard on them, stuff like that. So,
There's a lot of different chapters with a
oh,
lot
I
of
know.
different actions.
Oh yeah. So, but I'm not too sure. I love. See, me and Helen, we've talked a lot about the Imperial Orcs, and it's like when we've done what we want to do, then we'll be like, yeah, we're going to go off and become Imperial Orcs, and that'll be because they do a lot of the people say who are orcs just say, yeah, I'm not leaving. My next character is going to be an orc, and that's it. They love it. So I'm very very much on that sort of team at the moment. So um, rituals are 95% math and 5% cringe magic.
Um,
See, I can't say cringe. I'm not going to say cringe. I was having a conversation with. I put out the Larps video on YouTube, and this guy, I can't remember his name, but he messaged me just to say you spoke about the where they throw things and they go fireball, lightning bolt, and stuff like that. And I did say on the stream, I said it's so cringy. I said I don't like it, and he messaged me and he basically called me out, and he just said that was really elitist of you, and I was just like, okay, I can see a point, and I apologised, but I just said it's that sort of side of it is like that, and I said I probably shouldn't have used cringy and all of that sort of stuff because it's putting other things down. So I don't. I'm not. I'm becoming less of a fan of the word cringe at the moment. But I think it's more uncomfortable having to stand there and talk for 5-10 minutes and things like that. I think that's probably the better way to describe it. This isn't a dig at John. This is a this is just like me thinking about these sort of things at the moment. So I think it's the doing of it that I think a lot of people are put off by.
yeah, so I think for a load of people whose primary hobby is dressing up and pretending to be other people, quite a lot of the time we're not great at the concept of performance. There's
Yes.
but that I really really like all of the different models that Empire has. Like, here are some suggestions of stuff that you can do that actually makes it cool.
Yeah.
Here, here's ways of making it interesting, ways of making it interactive, ways of making it more than just we're going to stand in a circle and mumble some things and wave our arms, or we're going to preside in a dramatic fashion, or what have you. It
Mm.
is it is it's perfectly reasonable to say that I'd find that embarrassing, or that someone else would find it awkward. But sitting there and saying it is embarrassing to like that, it is cringeworthy to enjoy that, that's not great. Saying
Yeah.
I personally find it difficult is a very different
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I think that's the where the cringe word. I think it needs a little bit
Yeah.
of thinking out. It's so for me.
I cringe.
I would cringe at myself doing it. I think that's the big
Yeah.
thing
And
there. So
that's a big difference. I cringe, that is cringeworthy. One of them is okay, the other is like, let's not, you know?
mm, yeah, it's like watching Southampton Football Club play. That is cringeworthy.
Thanks.
That's all right. Portsmouth
So
fan.
anyway,
Sorry, carry on.
I mean, if only you'd ever reached a premiership.
Oh, oh my
It's
heart.
it's not it's. I mean, I'm not saying that Saints are great, but at least we've got there in the past, you know?
Oh, we have.
Like
About
some.
15 years ago,
So how'd that go for you?
we won the FA Cup.
Once. You're just gonna rest on those laurels, yeah?
No. We've won things. Southampton haven't.
I mean, I think that we won the style contest over Pompey.
Nah, can't see it. Let's go on to a different topic. This is we're going downhill here.
Someone started it, and it wasn't me.
Yeah, John. Um, so yeah, but everybody is saying, yeah, there's like they've seen some great ones and stuff like that, and rituals. I mean, I've seen some fantastic ones. Just said, best ritual moment for me was cutting Grimm's hand, and when he winced, Mac remarked, you pansy," only to see him scream so loud the whole field must have heard when I cut his hand.
Oh.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I like those sorts of moments, and I like those sorts of things, and I love to watch it because I think the people who do it are really,
Yeah.
really incredible at what they do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Someone earlier mentioned the Dornish summer mages,
Mm.
Eva Shambles, I think, talking about and watching them do Knights of Glory. It's a thing. It's really, really cool having all of them surrounding the general and being like, we are summoning the host of summer. What will you call them to do? So good.
Mm.
Yeah.
What was it? There's a ritual. Someone said there's a ritual one of the Orc covens do, where they put the target on bleed out and have to complete the ritual before they die. That's all. That's so cool. That's
Get
really
lots of
cool.
endurance.
Yeah, yeah, that is really, really cool. Oh dear. Let's get it down. My favourite was being asked to what my ship's name was, and I had to shout the shiny booty. Excellent.
So good.
That's really
So
good.
good.
How many
But yeah.
people do you think die at an event? People,
So
none. Characters, though. Sorry, George.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's super, super variable. Sometimes you'll get nice, smooth events where the battles go well and it's not too bad. You'll get, 10 or 20 maybe. Other times you'll have a messy, messy one, and you'll just have the dawn after one battle. We had the glory square with the bodies of the dead laid out, and God, it was a horror show. It was so amazing to watch and be part of. Just
Mm,
here is this person, let's tell their story and talk about their glory. Here, there's this, and
yeah.
yeah, there was events once where you're like, oh, sugar, half of Urizen is dead. It's like 3 people. That's fine. There's loads more Urizen than that. But yeah, sometimes what?
No, I just say please you put that joke up. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Half of Burzin are dead. All yeah, there's only 3 left. Oh
No,
dear.
there's a load more Urizeni now than there have been before. They've tended to be a fairly small nation, but they've
Yeah,
grown a lot, and it's been really interesting to see.
yeah, yeah. So was that Dawn debacle? Was that after a certain skirmish?
We've had a number of them.
You've had a number, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I don't think anyone's done the disaster that was Wintermark charging a war rhino face on. And I
I
think,
heard about that. It's
yeah,
before my
because
time, but
yeah, Wintermark lost 75 in that one. Yeah,
nasty.
really, really nasty. Because I remember I was monstering that one, and then you just watch them go on, and it just went straight through. It was just like, whoa, that wasn't clever. That was really, really bad. That.
Oh
So,
God. Yeah.
but yeah, you get those sorts of things. So, but that's the why charge the war rhinos? I think that was the first time it had been seen. That was its.
Yeah.
That was its.
Yeah, that's
It
what
was
I heard.
debut. That was.
At which point you're like, well, what does that do? And you're like, oh, it turns out that it charges you right back
It.
and then impales you, and then you start bleeding.
It turns out it's a tank. It was
Amazing.
insane. I remember because I was off in the the shrubby bits just watching, and then they got hit really really hard, and then we had our massive unit, and then they just went, "Yep, now charge them." And we're like, "Oh, this is gonna be really really bad," and it was, and we just walked all over them. And then
Yeah,
I think we got charged by, I think that was Dawn actually coming in then with all their clank and stuff like that, and they just walked all over us because we were only little skirmishers. But oh, it's
yeah,
painful.
yeah. If you look at photos, if anyone
Mm,
hasn't seen photos of the war rhino, they are amazing. It's just, I mean, you can literally type it into Google, and it's been a thing.
So Urizen casualties over the past 2 years. So
Um,
1, 11, 14, 11, 3, 1, 1, 5.
yeah, yeah. It was the E3 and E4 2018 where just Urizen got
Blitzed.
nasty, nasty power driving, and
Yeah.
they've pulled an amazing fighting force out of it and made it really, really coherent and cohesive. But
Mm,
oof, those two, it was just bloody. 3 years, 3 seasons
3 seasons. Yeah.
of prison taking it to the face. It was
Literally. Oh, we shouldn't laugh, but it is quite. Yeah. That's just. Yeah. I mean,
it it
That's the.
happens it happens to every
Mm,
nation sometimes. Um, and
mm,
it's always been amazing to watch them come around when you get new blood, when you get the people who've survived it taking those lessons and being like, okay, this is what happened, here's how we're going to make it better. It's just been it's been wonderful to watch. Some of I've had a huge amount of time for some Urizen characters, um, and just really really loved the opportunity to see just the difference between Urizen, and it's fantastic. But yeah,
mm,
they're rebuilding into this really nice unit.
mm.
It's been great.
Yeah. I like Urizen. I'm not allowed there anymore. They, because, well, obviously, where they haven't solved the murder of Achilles.
Yeah.
Uh, and Urizen accused me of doing it essentially. And that, so
Okay.
I was on the list to be questioned about it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so people
Um,
I've walked through Urizen, they spit on me,
shall we
not literally, but
shall we move away from a controversial IC topic?
have you
If
got
it's,
another one?
I mean, I've got many. Just a bit like sounds
Mm.
like ask you about it in the field.
Mm. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely come and have a chat with me about that one. It won't end well. Yeah. So how do you when you've got like a little lull and that in your game, if you've got like 2 or 3 minutes to yourself?
Oh, I love that. Amazing. When
What?
when are they? When
Uh,
can I have one? Can I have one now? No. Um. So no, it's actually not that bad. So because I am a priest and because I am a meddler, I have I schedule a lot of meetings.
mm,
Um. If you look at uh, if you go to the synod board, there's like an A3 sheet of paper stuck up there. Um, which is just a timetable, which is a list of all of the different
yeah.
assemblies, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and there's going to be a note in each of them as like what your meeting is and where. So on Fridays, because 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 we are masochists, we have a very vague tendency to have like national assembly meeting at 7, virtue assembly meeting at 8, assembly of the 9 at 9 o'clock, and
Mm,
then finish by 10, and then you go on to next. It's just there's a lot. What do I do in quiet times? I go to the hub because then I need to vote. Quiet times is when I get to vote.
excellent.
And I know Emma Novi gets to see me then haunting the thing,
Mm,
reading, going like, you did what? You want people to, okay, let's vote for or
yeah.
against that, and it's so good. And
Yes. Yeah.
talking to
Mm,
people, there's always going to be someone there who's like, "Oh, have you seen this one? What do you think about that? Oh,
mm,
do you know that?" Or I will roam the field looking for someone to to feed me food and take pity on me. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I know that
fantastic.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As John has said, there seems to be two kinds of players. The I'm just here to chill and enjoy myself, and what is this sitting down you keep speaking of?
Yeah.
It's yeah, there is no in between. I generally find that the people who are in that first box, they normally go on to become that second box.
I think it depends. So there is literally nothing wrong with saying what I want to do at Empire is come along, chill with my mates around a fire, drink a few beers, listen to music, sing songs,
Hmm.
wander the shops, see what people's got going on. Maybe take in a cultural site. We'll wander down Varushka for the night market or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and that's really cool if that's what you want to do. Awesome. But yes, there is, if you choose, a lot to do. Like there's always something.
Hmm.
The Winds of War and the Winds of Fortune will give you cues for like if you want to do this, talk to these people. If you want to do that, go here. This is happening at this time. These Eternals are sending heralds here, here, here. These mandate opportunities are available. Who's going to do that?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, find shit that you want to do. Um, if you like having lots to do, pick a thing you want to achieve that needs other people to achieve it. I'm just going to keep banging this drum until everyone gets bored and goes home. But yeah,
Hmm.
you,
Yeah.
you being proactive and having a long-term goal for me is like literally the best way of finding stuff to do in Empire.
Yeah. What's the most random thing you have seen in that field? You've walked around and you've just had to stop and just go. Did I actually just see that? What is that? Have you had any of those moments?
So once I did, once I was wandering around between meetings and I ran into a tree. And by that, what I mean is literally someone who was so briared. It was basically like made of bark, moving, and it was just amazing. And then there was the other time I was wandering around and accidentally bumped into some people who were worshipping a tea towel.
I would have liked to have seen that.
So
That's really cool.
So upon the coronation of the last empress Elisabetta,
Mm.
some people made merch, and it was amazing. They
Yeah.
made they literally made merch of Elisabetta's face on tea towel, and some of the tea towels somehow got dedicated to Hope, and PD sent in some people saying we follow hope, the false virtue. We are here because Elisabetta has lit a spark of hope in our hearts, and we're now going to be really heretical
That's
about the
amazing.
tea.
That's so
And I
cool.
was like,
Mm.
okay, so I'm between meeting A and meeting B. I'm gonna okay. So let's talk about why this is bad. Seriously,
That's
worshipping tea
amazing.
towel. So good.
Mm. I love that. I have not. That's so cool. That is absolutely amazing. Worshipping, yeah, yeah, the whole tea towel. That's really cool. Okay, that's yeah. I have to try to find that one. The tea towel of hope. That's,
It has since then been made so I was gatekeeper at that point,
mm.
but I still went along to Assembly of Nine meetings and took notes because I'm a nosy cow and I like taking notes. And one of the notes from that Assembly of the Nine meeting after that was tea towel is no longer hopeful. Maybe you feel better.
That's really good. But I like this sort of stuff that comes up in in the field and stuff like that, and some of it is really random. I want someone to go around and make notes of like the random things that you hear people say as
Oh,
well.
have you heard? Oh, so in which case, do I have a publication for you? The Looking Glass have a section called Overheard in the Plaza, and it is
Oh,
literally that, and it's amazing.
sold. Yeah, I'll get that then.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
absolutely brilliant.
Anguilla Barossa goes out and writes down what people say with malice aforethought, and it's amazing. I absolutely love it. I strongly recommend The Looking Glass to anyone who
Mm.
wants scathing social commentary about Anvil. Great.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's
Yeah.
sometimes just the little things like giving a hallowed taxidermy duckling a bow tie with its ribbon.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's
So
really cool. Yeah. The problem with that is I think that's mine and Chris's fault that the hallowing of little objects and stuff like that became we're not doing it anymore because well we did the whole hallowed potato thing and that seemed to spark a lot of people going around after we were going here's the party potato, hold this, feel great for it and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden there's rocks, ducks, anything
I
really.
mean, there have been a number of interesting and potentially ill-advised hallows. Let us move on. It's fun.
I have to
Yeah.
know about this, but I'll ask you later. So
Right.
many. Oh, that's so cool. See,
Yeah.
yeah, Larry the Fuzzy, the pet rock seller. I've still got. I'll have to fish out my pet rock, Granite. I'll have to find
Yeah.
him. And
Yeah.
that's so. And the mother rocker bought. Yes, they had a big rock, didn't they, at the Bourse? Oh dear, that's so cool.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so.
if you want a list of random shit that people have said, ask
Hmm.
the Looking Glass. They're amazing.
So how about because I mean we've been going for an hour, we're going for an hour. So how about at the end of an event then? What's how busy are you for the last 2 hours of an event?
So as as at least one person in the chat knows, we have a thing. The Assembly of Nine uh, gather at around about 12:30, 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Um, and what we call it Primacy Club.
Okay.
So normally you put up statements on the wall of Synod, and you then other people will come up and then they'll vote for them whenever. If you have more than half of the voting membership of an assembly present at the same time, you can just sign it off, being like, "There's enough of us to say it goes through. No one can do anything about it. Let's just call it good."
Yeah.
So yeah, sort of 12:31ish, we will all gather in the hub, and we will just be like, "I know, right? Welcome back, Emma.
Yeah.
Just what you always wanted." So yeah, Steve asked me, "Am I busy last thing on Sunday?" And what I said was, "Emma Novi will know. What I do is I have Primacy Club. Basically, we get together and going forth, and all of the things that we think that the Assembly of Nine can or should say,
Hmm.
which can be anything from um, three nations here have said something about this thing. We think it's really cool, and we approve it, and we want more people to hear about it. To um, last season, the Assembly of Nine made a statement saying, "We know that we've lost territory. We've lost Scarsund. We've lost Feroz. We've lost Spiral. We, the Synod, as the Assembly of Nine, make a commitment. We will take them back. We will come back for them."
Hmm.
The Assembly of Nine, for a noob who hasn't found that wiki page, is the assembly comprising the eight cardinals, so the seven cardinals of the virtues, the cardinal of the way, and the throne. It is the second highest authority in Synod, the
Yeah.
highest authority in Synod being the General Assembly, which is literally every single priest. So the Assembly of Nine is all of the cardinals getting together and saying, essentially, we want everyone to hear something. We want all of y'all to have an opinion and hear this specific thing.
Yeah. I've been
Assembly
referred to as this assembly of 8. Well,
and the throne.
currently it is, isn't it?
Yes.
So, but
Yeah. So yeah.
anyway,
What it also is a coordination.
yeah.
So if people want stuff to get moved, they tell their cardinals, we want this to happen. The cardinals can go up, talk to the other cardinals, and then the other cardinals can pass it down to the other virtue assemblies, and that way information circulates a lot further, a lot faster. It's a way to get information out. So yeah, my Saturday afternoon, my Sunday afternoon is meetings of the Assembly of Nine, talking about what we want to happen. After that, I will usually go the military council to
Yeah.
watch the generals put their orders in. So I've got an idea of what they're actually doing. The Once they're done, it's Senate at 2 where they do their last bits.
Yeah.
So I'll go and see what they're doing. It's a lot of picking up the last
Yeah.
bits.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that, I will aim to have something to eat. It's going to be
Yeah. Well, so for everyone watching, food, just food.
please,
Must
always.
please do food.
Literally,
Yeah.
one of the things I carry around with me are like vegan, gluten-free, hypoallergenic naked bars that I can hand out to people and devour myself, because having something is so much better than not.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, and water. Yeah, so having something to eat, something to drink, it's just a simple. Even
Yeah,
if it's you're running off and you've just got a can of Coke or something, you just down that and then go running off again. Just as long as you've got something in your system, it really does help. I've picked up enough people who are like, I'm really struggling now and I need to go back to my tent, but I haven't got the energy to walk. So you walk with them. So we're giving them a
yeah,
little bit of a helping hand and stuff like that. So yeah, icy bottles, water skins, keep it all with
yeah,
you, and it's just stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah,
dehydration really does suck. When
yeah.
you go for a
Um,
wee, pay attention to that. That's the simple
yeah.
thing.
The Sea Penguin's also asking, how does one get into the priest game? Asking for a friend.
Mm,
Um, Depends how you want to do it. You can either gen a priest, and turn up to your assembly meetings,
mm,
and have an opinion on a thing, or you can go and talk to a priest. I have literally never met a priest player who doesn't want to talk about their game. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's one of the things I'm thinking about doing is a like seminary player event, saying like, here is Priest 101, here is stuff that I think would be useful for you to know that you can learn in an IC format and an IC function.
mm.
So it's like, here are the virtues, here are the here are the doctrines. Um,
Yeah.
Looking to get involved, don't know how or where. Have Go to your assembly meetings,
Hmm.
have an idea of what they want to do with it. Like, so there's 3 different priest games to my mind. There's being a synod priest, a
Hmm.
political priest, having a congregation as a resource, voting on statements, putting up statements. There is being a theological priest, having an opinion about doctrine and shaping that and having philosophical discussions. Is this how we think that works? Is that how that works? And being a pastoral priest,
Yeah.
where you are going out and counseling people, supporting people, giving them advice and guidance, and sometimes just giving them a slap on the back and saying it's okay.
Yeah.
You are part of what you're doing is being a counselor and a friend and a support. The Way of Virtue is fantastic for that. All of the virtues sit there and go, you know what we want you to do? We want you to have a bit of oomph. We want you to know that you're good enough at what you're doing, to know that your efforts are enough, to know it goes. So being a pastoral priest is a hugely satisfying thing in and of itself.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's a very important one.
yeah.
Definitely.
So if you want to
Definitely.
play a political priest, go along to your assembly meetings, talk to people. Um, it's big and clever to involve other people. I would love to hear from anyone who wants to be a priest and is interested in it. I'm always available for being written to IC. I play Vivian de Courtefer. My
Yeah.
name is kicking around.
Yeah, there's also there's an
Yes.
intro to the synod is on
Yes.
Fridays.
Yep.
So
Yes.
yeah, go to the hub too.
Yep.
That's a good place, and
Yeah.
find people in the role that you're wanting to do, because as Ginny says, everybody wants to talk about what they're doing.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
larpers. We want to talk about what we're doing.
Yes. Uh, um, so I know a lot of this sounds like go out and put yourself forward and
Mm,
push it into people's games. By doing that, you make their games better.
yeah.
Like, literally everyone's game is made better by having people to talk to.
Hmm.
Being the person to make the first step can be really scary at times. Yeah, yeah, it is. I'm sorry, but I promise it's worth it.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. It's it's one of the things I always say is that if when you're walking around, if you want to know more, there's fires in the evening. There's people sat around by their camps during the day. Just wander over and say hello.
Yeah, yeah,
No one's really going to turn you away. Everybody wants to talk about what they're doing, what they're up to, unless it is in their eyes
yeah,
super
yeah,
secret stuff. So no one
yeah,
submits a judgment if they don't want people to read it, talk about it, or ask them about it. So
yeah, absolutely. So if you want to be involved in Synod, read the Wall of Judgments, see what the writing on the wall is. They're amazing.
yeah,
There's some interesting points of view up there. You're not going to agree with all of them.
no,
That's great.
yeah, that's the
Disagreement is good.
yeah,
Argue, be argued with, be prepared to change your mind, be prepared to try to change other people's minds.
mm,
Big
yeah,
and clever.
definitely, definitely. I mean, that's the big thing there. Also, I mean, read parts of the having a bit more knowledge from the wiki as well. So, like, try to focus that too. But the big thing I'd say would be to ask people, because then you'll get a lot more out of that than you will.
So,
So,
so fundamentally, you don't. The wiki should be an optional extra. It is so useful
mm,
that it shouldn't be instead of talking to people,
no, no, never, never.
and it shouldn't be a requirement. So yeah, it's amazing
Mm,
to be able to poke it and see what's going on, but by and large, just yeah,
yeah,
talk to people.
it's the same with advice in general, but fits very well for synod priests. Ask people, what can we do about this? Civil servants are good to ask this if you don't know your options.
Yes,
Um,
yep,
I would say
yeah,
it goes across the board. I mean, get a basic
yeah,
idea of what you're doing, because with your
yeah,
character and around your character, because that helps massively when
yep.
it comes to doing other things in character. That's the stuff you don't really. Well, you can read a little bit of it if you want, but go up to other people and ask. Because going into a field with an encyclopedic knowledge of everything in Empire, you're not gonna leave yourself with too much to find out about in a field. And
I
that,
don't know. There's
wow,
a load of bits and pieces, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
To get my mate into the priest game, we handed out flyers encouraging people to riot against idolatrous statues in Redoubt, as a Wind of Fortune gave as an option. That got a response. I can imagine it did.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brad.
Wow.
Thank you, Brad. Yeah. So like the Winds of Fortune are really, really good value for that. So a lot of the Winds of Fortune will give you options for mandates, which are special priest options. Um, So and it's like if you can put a mandate through and get a big enough majority and bring a bucket of liao, you can go forth and have this effect.
Yeah.
And it's good value to have an opinion on them, to see if you want to be one of those people who does that thing.
Mm.
If so, that's really cool. If
Yeah.
not, that's cool too. You get to find out who else does want to do it and how it goes.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Oh, Emma's just trying to put a link in. If you can message Phil H001, that's my other half, she's the mod. I have turned off links for this because yeah, there we go. Because otherwise you just get loads of links coming in, and it's like better to have it in one place. So yeah, so if you can do that, then Helen will put that into the channel for you. Okay. So I think what we'll do is if when we're going for an hour and a quarter, we've done well, and this was I only wanted to be a nice chilled thing, and that's been really good. Oh, it's fine, Emma. Don't worry. What does Emma do? Emma, what do you do for PD? Do you?
That's Jonathan Kidger. He is our Synod Tribune. He plays Leonardo.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now I know who it is.
He is
Tribute.
part of our Synod Tribune, and he and the three others are awesome
Okay.
at dealing with all of our mad shit.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes, I know. That's
we
why I know who you are now. So. No.
But yeah,
No.
what's the most interesting thing we've seen come through Synod? Ooh, so many interesting things come through Synod. It can be like like weirdly enough, the things that I have found found coolest are not necessarily the most interesting, but there've been two times where Dawn has sat there and gone, "We want to do a thing." It's completely mad, completely off base.
Mm.
So one of them was Highguard was wandering around, sending the Grey Pilgrims out to be like, "Are you a heretic? Let me check your card." And Dawn was like, "Excuse you, we would like to not only prove that we are not a heretic, we would like to sing it so loud that you believe that we're amazing too." Um, and we were just like, we would like to come over to you and tell us all of that stuff with love and glory. And we went over to Highguard and said, "So can we do this? And would you mind writing us a note to Highguard saying it's okay for us to do this?"
Mm.
And Highguard were like, "All right, yeah." So they put up a statement saying, "By the way, all of Highguard, Dawn are coming along. They're going to bring a banging party." Um, and because we got Highguard to say it was okay, when we went and rampaged through, it went a lot better. So I thought that it was just a really nice way of demonstrating how you can get two statements interacting with each other from two different
Mm.
sides, and it was just that was really really nice
Yeah.
to see. And we did the same thing in Ossium,
Mm.
because we were like, shit, we've just charged four Dornish armies, yomping through this fear-filled forest that's been given to Varushka. We violently disapprove of fear. It dulls
Yeah.
people's glory. So we want to go and do something about it. We want to take the light of virtue through and do the thing.
Yeah.
Um, hey Varushka, we know this has just been given to you. Do you mind sending a note round from like to Ossium saying that it's okay for us to do the thing?
Yeah.
And again, it's just a really nice. Here is us rampaging through.
So what?
Um,
Sorry, I was just gonna say because I'm gonna bring it to an end. What we'll do is there's one question there from George,
yeah,
um, and then I'm gonna answer Smo's question as well because it's quite an important one.
yeah,
So, what are your top two nations? Very very quickly.
no such thing. like
How did
literally.
I
I
knew
mean,
you were going to say
so
that?
like, so there are nations that I definitely wouldn't play, and there are nations that I definitely would play more. But all of them just have so much different things going on. It's
Mm,
just been amazing
yeah.
to see the breadth of it, the scope of it, to have space for 2,500 different people
Mm,
play different games, and I love just all of the different bits of it.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
I like them all apart from High Guard. Uh, that
High God.
mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
High God's got.
everyone's going to have their own personal preferences, aren't they, about the ones that they
Yeah,
do like, don't like and stuff like
yeah,
that. So,
absolutely. Like,
um,
yeah, yeah. There are nations that I would
mm,
play faster than others. I would definitely play in Arizona. I would definitely play in the league. Um, I'm not entirely certain I'd always play in Dawn. It's not in my top 10. Oh no, it is because there's only 10 nations, so it has to be there somewhere.
yeah. So, Smo asked if there was going to be like a community meetup before an event for the show people, people who will need to like get it sorted in their head before they turn up and stuff. Yes, there 100% is. We will get it a time and a day sorted to head to the Hurst Hall sort of fire. Sorry, anyone in Hurst Hall who watches this, but it's happening. Um, Turn up and everybody will be there. There'll be a lot of new players. As long as we'll try to do it on the Thursday, so that on the Friday everyone can go to all of the new player things because they are so very very important to do. So why the hate for High Guard? I don't get on with their brief. It's something as a brief that I just doesn't appeal to me in any way, shape, or form. It's been a joke for a while now with me, but yeah, I've got a lot of friends in High Guard, but I'm just like, it's not going to be for me, I'm afraid. Um, no, because we're going to do the meetup on the Thursday, hopefully, and that. So we'll probably do a little one in the morning on a Friday if people are there or turning up on Fridays, and that just to say hello and get everybody saying hello, so they know people in that field because that's quite a big thing. They are the face of extreme orthodoxy and they hate fun.
High God,
They
High
really
God.
do. Yeah, they are the fun police.
Some High Guarders can be great fun. Give me a minute.
Yeah, so I'll wait on that one. So yeah, so we'll do that. So yes, there will be a meet, and we will do it. And but when we get closer to April, we will have an event, and we will make an announcement, and we will get people there. So come and meet new players and all of this sort of stuff, and it'll be absolutely fantastic. That sounded like an official disclaimer from Ginny. So, just on Wednesday, I've got Darren Stocker, a regular props that's been rearranged. So he's going to come on and talk all of that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in making weapons, bring a lot of questions. He is stupidly talented, that guy. He really, really is, all of his stuff. Two of the weapons I've got actually are from a regular prop, so they are. So he'll know them very well. Um, I've ordered a shield from, yeah. His stuff is really, really good. Friday, we've got Rob coming on, who does the on Facebook. There's a big group of Rob Bean coming on to help us help you. It's a Facebook group. He's in the Brass. He's in Brass Coast, isn't he, as well? I believe.
Who's that?
Rob Bean.
No. Rob and Helly are in Urizen at the moment playing Sword Scholars.
Oh, I thought that. Why did I think they were in Brass Coast?
Don't know.
Um, so yeah, so they've got so Rob's coming on and we're going to chat about that and he'll be chatting about what he's done as well. Just to say, everybody who sent tea and sweets and that for Rob as a thank you for everything you've done for the community, get well soon and all that. He received them today and he loves it. Helly is rationing it all for him. He received so much, so we've done brilliantly, and I'm sure on Friday he will say thank you to everybody as well because Rob is such a good guy, such a good guy. So it was really, really great. On Saturday, not this Saturday, the Saturday after, is the second part of our Larps, the series stuff. I've got Scott Humphreys coming on. So we're going to be chatting about that TV series. So if you haven't watched it, it's all about LARP and it's really funny. So, and they do us justice as well. I will say this as a LARP, but they definitely do us justice. It's so good. There's none of the whole, oh, it's all cringy and all of this sort of stuff. John Verrill is a fight choreographer as well. So all of their fights are with LARP weapons, but in a proper fight, and it's really good. It's so good. Have you seen it?
No, no such luck. I'll get around to watching it.
I,
Hunt it up.
each episode is like 15 minutes long, so but it is very very funny. I definitely recommend it.
I'll take a look.
So I've got Scott coming on as well, and then there's some other streams happening in the future that I can't remember because I keep on saying I need a calendar and to write stuff down, but I never do because I'm not very good, I'm afraid. So, but thank you everybody for coming along to watch, ask questions, get involved in everything. Thank you for coming on, Ginny, as always. A fountain of knowledge.
Ah, it's always super, super good to listen to people and see what up. It's been fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's always better when there's nothing planned. I think they seem to work better because we're all over the shop, but they're the best ones. So everyone's saying thank you to you in chat. So that's really nice. So yeah, really, really good fun. Amazing stream.
Yeah.
Learnt lots. Not from me. Not from me, I haven't. Sorry. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming along. Thank you, Ginny. Ginny will be back on the stream again, I'm sure, because we've still got lots of virtue chats to do, and that. So we've still got loads. So yeah. So yeah. So we'll see you. I'm sure there'll be the after stream chat that everyone will go off into as well. So I might pop in briefly and say hello to everybody there as well. So see you all soon. Everyone take care, stay safe, and remember, if you're not doing great, reach out. Very, very important. Reach out. Okay? People care. I'll just say that. So, yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. You all take care, and we'll see you soon. Okay? Bye.